that's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
Greetings, and welcome to Fix This. You know you're in your office where they see all kind of stuff. Well, welcome to Context Matters. The date is November 11th, 2025. Christmas are coming with me Yama or whatever they call it. But so today I'm gonna talk about, food security, shelter, and then you have this whole reality that somehow there's a misconception, I believe, about where your priorities lie. If we want to talk about that, I note that social media has made all events a December. Yeah, did I say it? Did I say it's not December? I said it's December. I said December 11th, 2025. Yeah, I hope I said that and it was right. So yeah, one of the things you tend to understand or you tend to find is that people are not necessarily certain where their priorities lie. So finding I said December or November. Big up yourself, Elaine, Panther Black. Did I say November or December? I don't know. These days you just say anything, right? But yeah, and trying to definitely, okay, I said the right thing. Yeah. Tomorrow's my birthday actually, so I definitely would know. Shout out to Kezia, my niece, who celebrates her birthday today. Greatness in December. The importance of just finding where the priorities lie. So there is an economist. I've said this before, but I realized social media has turned everything into a 9-day wonder. Terry Goodas, your birthday tomorrow like mine. So anybody who celebrates their birthday on the 12th of December, you share a birthday with me. So Isaac, the great one. That's the meaning of my name. You share your birthday with greatness. It means you're great. So and I have to say too. So I share birthday with Portia, the most honorable former Prime Minister of Jamaica and President of the People's National Party, Portia Simpson Miller. You're telling me happy birthday. Yeah, you can't tell me happy birthday without providing Apple products. If you're not providing Apple products, keep it. We don't want it. Yeah, and I'm joking. I kid. But it's tomorrow though. And just finding so many other people that I would have met. Great. Abina Morris is an attorney at law. She's also shares birthday. And there's this very famous drummer in Jamaica. He shares it. And a famous artist from Brazil, 12th of the 12th, greatness. Big up yourself, Rowan Robinson, Rowan the creator. You know how it go. And yeah, but today, let me not overshadow the birthdays of today because mine is tomorrow. And big them up. But I will, again, to my niece. But again, I was saying to you about how social media the impact of social media has pretty much created the viral community. So things go viral, and that's what it is for now. For instance, and then they might come for me. But last week I was talking about this whole war between Massacre and Tommy Lee and the issue of the goat and everything, and in enters all this clashing, and dancehall is fully entertaining. But the biggest winner of all of the madness is Short Staff. Short Staff come out and he was like, "Ich ni san chin go rock." I don't know what he was saying, but pitch, patch, mitch, match, sit, slap, get bigger. But anyway, hilarious because for those who thought that they were going to troll him and say that his song was nonsense, his song is literally viral. Lick snatch, it's more like lick snitch. But anyway, why for the lickings, right? But the thing about it is how entertainment is. So it is the it song out of it's the it song out of the Clash, and the fact that anybody that was trying to troll him, he turned it back around and started to troll them. So what people thought was nonsense, or people was even saying don't quit your day job, show up for your day's work tomorrow. Out of that came the one of the most trending vibe that is happening right now. No pun intended. And then there's the issue of just all of the madness. But I'm saying, but even then, that is a 9-day wonder because no one knows what's gonna happen tomorrow or at the end of the week or just however it goes. A very interesting state of affairs when one's dealing with that. I get a suntan. I got suntan. No, I'm black. I'm dressed in all black like an omen. But anyway, yeah, it is knowing or recognizing about the 9-day wonder, and because of that, the lived human experience is something that's often neglected. Through that neglect, many things would have come to fruition. Hold on, laws of hierarchy. Yeah. So out of that came many different variations and things. So when the Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica, there was much fanfare about the destruction and the devastation. So everybody was like, oh my God, I need to fly to Jamaica and I need to just ensure that I donate and I support Jamaica. And then Radam, the government is like, oh, we don't spend $1 out of the money that the people were sending to us. We're still in the planning stage. And we've left the feeding stage, and then World Central Kitchen came and set up at the Jamaica Conference Center and was sending out the food, and then the people started to be like, chicken again? They can't cook something different. The typical Jamaican, if you're going to do something, do it to your best of your ability or don't do it at all, according to them. And then the government was like, yo, send World Central Kitchen, take up yourself, and we need back the conference center because we've gone on to the next phase. So there was the part where care packages was mandatory. I'm going to tell you this, whether people accept it or not, care packages is an ongoing necessity in the reality that is Jamaica. Also, a part of empowering people is to ensure that you give them the tools that they need to survive, i.e., it's not that you're going to cook for them. Yes, you need hot meals. 225 million care packages. 225 million care packages. And that's another thing. Statistics cannot account for the lived human experience. Let me tell you something. If you notice, people will tell you 1.5 people were benefited from something. What the hell is 1.5 people? Because a person is either a whole, certainly not a half. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. So someone said, anyone interested in a loan? If so, please send a DM. Interest rate starts at 15%. What the? Anyway, I don't even know why I read that. People just come on the live and just type anything. Yeah. So with the lived human experience, and I apologize for the distraction just now. Many things happening in the space. For instance, at the office, the solidarity program, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security came to Portland yesterday and did a substantial number of signing up so that people could get their $20,000 where they qualify, as well as other benefits under the Solidarity Program, kind of a way to upstart and make their lives better. Big up yourself, David Rochester. Bless up yourself. And of course, while I'm speaking, there's a lot of persons still signing up. Very, very encouraging thing, as well as the other grants, so many things that you're doing to try to ensure that people have a sense of inclusion and an ability to restart or reset. Well, Melissa did the resetting, but whether you could restart your life and pick up the pieces of your life, even when people say that where you are, there's no semblance of normalcy, or nothing had happened to Portland, right? Now, here we go. Well, yeah, here we are. So yeah, so let me just go through real quick. So Maslow's laws of hierarchy needs is a motivational theory by Abraham Maslow, and it is presented as a 5-level pyramid, stating people must satisfy basic needs, physiological safety, before pursuing higher ones. So love, belonging, esteem, self-actualization. These are the different levels on the pyramid. If you plan to reach your full potential. Now, these laws aren't strict rules, but a progression where lower level deficiency needs must be met before focusing on higher growth needs, like self actualization, which involves creativity and personal growth. So let me just make it clear. Someone said $20,000 Jamaican dollars is 130 US dollars. That is not a good start for the people then. I like how you're saying that, but Wanda Nicholas Spencer, it's free money that the government is allocating. Are you suggesting that they shouldn't take it because it's just $130,000? Because again, the lived human experience, and I'm on the ground, and what I'm experiencing is that a lot of people would be grateful for that, notwithstanding, and the other option is nothing at all. So I'm interested in terms of how people process it. No, I tend to agree with you, but you can't tell that to somebody who actually has nothing. That's Whitney Houston. Yeah. So the physiological needs, which is the basic survival needs, like air, food, water, shelter, warmth, and sleep. I'm identifying that as where a lot of people in Jamaica are right now, following the devastation, the physiological needs. So it's basic survival needs like air, food, water, shelter, warmth, and sleep. Now, remember, if persons are to progress naturally, these needs would have to be met before they can even try to embark on achieving the other needs. So when one thinks of food, clothes, and shelter, which is what parents are obligated to do for their children and fight so hard to do. So even in a hurricane, parents have to find everything for their children. And children just be like, oh, the light gone. When it's a come back, mommy, daddy, what you do about the food? And just live. So the pressure is on those to keep those needs together. So it cannot be then that the government in its 2-stage process, or whatever process that they deploy, simply shuts off one aspect and move on to the next. So people who are displaced will always need food, clothes, and shelter. And so you can't say, I'm going to provide shelter for you, so I won't provide food, because they might not live to see the completion of the shelter. And if it's shelter, the type of shelter is going to be necessary. It's going to be important to know what type of shelter, if it's temporary or semi-temporary, things that's a constant theme to appreciate is the concept of whether or not there is a time limit, whether there'll be commitment by the government and stakeholders to also limit the time persons spend in someone say we have enough things and Melissa make me depressed because Christ, no light. Well, and that's it. So how do you juxtapose? Because there was an interesting conversation to hear somebody say they have no light. They have everything but no light. And then one wonders, what is it exactly that is expected of people, right? And there's this the government, the Minister of Energy says, what we're doing is we're giving JPS $150 million to restore light, because light is the most important thing. And there was a whole thing in Parliament this week about the whole light situation. And it was then immediately it dawned on me that where our priorities lie, and whether or not there is always a semblance of mature consideration in the things that we decide that we are doing. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, I'm listening to all the bright minds that sit in Parliament, the questions that are asked and the answers that's coming. In this case, the Minister of Finance, she has decided that she has satisfied herself, or she decided that her ministry is going to be responsible for giving the loan. And I'm sitting there and saying to myself, you're going to give this loan, but whether or not when you give this loan, will this be something that will be beneficial to the people of Jamaica? And hearing Donald Thompson say, boy, I have enough things, but me depressed because Christ, no light. It seems to suggest then that you can't be on TikTok and not tapping up the screen and sharing the live and sending me gifts to see my reaction. Just putting that out there. All the people get away with that is Reggae Global Radio, flagship station, and the people on YouTube. You have to be sending money to the GoFundMe, and you have to be making sure you like and share. There are obligations, for all of this knowledge. Yeah. And so the conversation got a little bit, as the speaker of the house would say, outside of the remit. So you're outside, you're not even inside. And as Damien would say, I have to bring it back inside. So there's this whole conversation about the JPS, and a lot of disturbance was coming from it and misinformation. And Dr. Dawes, he was saying that it was more important for people to have shelter, and more important, you have to live somewhere. It's better to live somewhere and don't have no light than have light and don't live nowhere. And if light come back, where you're going to live and where you're going to put it, what kind of facilities you're going to have. So it's almost like what comes first, the chicken or the egg. But in all of that, I was able to say to myself, while all of this is going on, it's interesting, to say the least, as to what it means. Because see somebody saying the finance minister has no clue. I know that she's a Rhodes Scholar and she's naturally very intelligent. So I'm not going to participate in that. But to say that it's important when it comes to the accountability that the country is confident that you know what you're doing when you make the decisions that you make. That's key in my mind, at least. So sitting there and I'm saying, okay, I need to know for myself if the minister satisfied herself. Because what kind of comfort level could you have to just get up and give 150 million US dollars to a company who you have not renewed a contract and you don't know where they're going to get the rest of the money from, in the tune of 450 million? And but again, if nothing else, I know that just like how courts have record, the parliament is a house of record. So it's recorded, and so things said is put on record, and you can't just change your mouth because you can pull up the Hansard and you'll be able to know what was said. But anyway, I'm inviting you to listen to the exchange between myself and the finance minister on this point.
Be light, I'm not going to say light after light. I'm not asking that, please. It would certainly restore energy by February, but end of January, in the middle of February, end of January. Let me extend it that far. But however, that doesn't account for the remaining sums. So you have said that you have granted a loan simply for the restoration, but to what quantity? To what amount?
Well, you heard the Minister of Energy just recently.
No, I actually, as I said, Madam Minister, this is a house of record. The minister made no statement on any mic or anything that was recorded.
Okay, so let me repeat what I heard the minister said, and that he said, and he said it several times in Parliament and outside of Parliament, that the 150 million is dedicated towards restoration of electricity across the island by
I'm asking.
Right, by January 2026.
All right, but Madam Minister, Madam Minister, the question is about whether you satisfied yourself. So I'm asking because when the minister spoke in this parliament, he indicated that the 150 would have been to restore light in general areas as fast as possible. That was what was said. This is a house of record. And I'm challenging anybody to correct me on that, because those were the statements that was made. And so the question, my simple question is whether or not you satisfied yourself as to what exactly the 150 million is for, because it is your ministry that has distributed that loan. So that is what is of importance, and I'm asking for a response on that.
And so, member, we did satisfy ourselves. Just to answer your question.
Thank you for that. My final question. Your projection of 68.2% of your GDP. Can you say what is the reality of our GDP now? Your assessment for you to make the projection. Yes.
So our projection for GDP growth by the time we end this fiscal year is that we would see a decline of 4.3% by the end of this fiscal year.
as I said, what appears to be of importance is restoration of light without the full consideration of food, clothes, and shelter, and the urgency of it. So if you count post Melissa day for day, one has to wonder if the approach taken by the government is one that is palatable, one that is acceptable. I become a little bit slighted when it's okay to be relaxed and to be in a cordial setting where persons can laugh and be merry. The problem lies is that, again, when you're living in the experience, and like I always say, he who feels it knows it. Human rights at stake. Yesterday was International Human Rights Day, and Melissa falls right in the middle of that to ensure that the government fulfills its obligations to its people. Right to life is paramount, and in that exchange was a very interesting reality, that is listening at a minimum to just conversation in relation to everything that's happening in the space. So we said, is light important? Well, there are generators in Jamaica when it comes to health, because the minister did say, when you think about somebody who needs surgery, how important it is to have light. But the ship from Chinese came into the Caribbean waters and docked in Jamaica, and one wonders, but we're getting assistance from outside. What is it that we need for the people? But like I said, let there be light, because that God do restore light first. I guess we're taking the biblical approach. But as I said, you don't need light at night to know that you're homeless in the daytime. And again, the longer we take to put people in homes, restore them lives, move them out of shelters, or provide shelters that's not hindering education and the safety of our youth and the future of this country, is many things for the government to juggle. So I don't want anybody to think that I'm being so critical to the point that I'm not being rational. I'm just saying there must be proper thoughts. There must be, true consideration and proper process in terms of ensuring that the lives of the people are being improved and restored to the, not even to the same, but better than they were before. That is significant. Again, from where I sit, I know that you have to do all that is necessary to ensure that even the mental space of the people of Jamaica is cared for and nurtured. So I saw the government decide that they're suspending Christmas parties in government buildings, and a call to suspend the Yuletide season. Of course, that's not so in the areas where the affluent are, So, like I say, if you pass Manor Park, Christmas is alive and kicking. So, what you do in the other spaces is going to be very important. And I always look to that to say, at the end of the day, here's one of the things, and I'm trying to pull up another video so you can understand something. We had the debate about the rehabilitation bill last week, supporting it 100% in any form. Let me just make that clear. If the government wants to be stingy and decide that they want to do this much, as long as they're doing anything so that persons get a second opportunity for a lease on life, that is so much better. Let me tell you something right now. I'm never going to object to that. What we want is for people I said you are living in a different Jamaica because this government will not restore the people back to better than before. Well, they said build forward better, but me know say everything them tear down, we are gonna build back. We are gonna build back better than before. So certainly from where I sit, my rejection of container homes is for obvious reasons. Containers are to store things or ship things, and that's just me personally. I have a phobia to descend into the post Katrina living. Trailer park living is not the type that I would ever want Jamaican people to become comfortable with at all. That's just me. But remember, I sit and live my reality with a human rights hat, and that's just important for me to even accept and believe. So I just make sure in my mind that I keep that for myself. Now the aspect hold on. The aspect that I really want to share with persons, to be honest with you, is the fact that, as I said, they were saying that when it comes to Jamaica, we have to remember that Jamaican people are what them call it? Jamaican people are resilient and all of that, and Jamaica is a high crime society. No, as I'm talking to you, Jamaica is a high crime society. So because Jamaica is a high crime society, the country, the people in the country must fend for themselves, and crime not gone down. So because of that, the rehabilitation period, according to the Minister of Justice, has to be 15 years. So if you're a 20-year-old and you get 10 years in prison, you must come out at 30, wait 15 years, and then when you're 45, you can apply for your rehabilitation. No if, ands, or buts. So the youth of this country, for a mistake, will wither and descend into the arena, and they'll get no opportunity to be an Isaac Buchanan. Just never forget that. No opportunity to, having made a mistake, to become an attorney at law, to proceed to a space where you become the best version of yourself and ascend even into the House of Parliament. And remember, this is better than what it was before, because there used to be no opportunity. The only complaint is we must not be pusillanimous, to want to set the tone for Jamaican citizens to have the best chance and opportunity of life. Anyway, not long after, don't get me wrong, let me make this clear. It was not long after that we saw immediately, let me just tell you, the Prime Minister speaking about the Zozos, and while there was a conversation to say, it's undebatable, though that is true with all things. When we deal with extensions, we have to know what's the object and purpose of the extension, what is the mischief that we're trying to correct, what are we hoping to achieve. So Zozos from 2017 till now is about 8 years and running, and the community intervention, is it for building the community without improving the people's morale and life? So I'm putting things into perspective. There was a smart bus stop for $4.7 million. An investment one wonders, because we're talking about building back better, stronger, you name it, and yet when it comes to housing allocations, is some $500,000 and some $100,000 grant when your house is destroyed. But a smart bus stop is for 4.7 million. Where do the priorities lie? And can we say that crime is down without accounting for the extrajudicial killings? And these are honest questions. and it's asked on the eve of International Human Rights Day. So I'm just gonna share. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want it to dwell on the political realities. Somebody said that all container homes are toxic. There are brand new ones without toxicity in the interim for shelter until NHT can allow people to qualify and build if people are not working. Um, I don't say no. Like I said, I am not saying no because we know what the needs are urgently, but I will not substitute brick and mortar for container homes on no circumstances for me. But even with the reality where out of a matter of necessity, the container homes are introduced, there must be commitment for timelines. And I'm speaking from a human rights standpoint. It's not just toxicity, it is a lifestyle. If you can envision trailer trash living for your people, that's a matter for you. But certainly for the vision for Jamaicans, I don't care where you're from, and people mustn't forget, let me tell you something in Portland. I can't speak for the people of Portland. You have women and men in in Portland. Yeah, they're farmers, and yeah, the mother selling the market. But I can tell you this: you have the mother that it's Christmas time now. If her foot hurt her, she can go to her daughter who is a doctor. And if you talk to her too rough, she call her son who is a lawyer. And let me tell you something: when she go visit her sister in New York this Christmas, you know who I go carry her? Her pilot son from one woman. So she might not have had the education, and she made sure, say, even though she's selling the market and her husband is a farmer and him did get farm work yard, that they made the best of whatever living and to make sure that the next generation is better. So they're not going into somebody said big up Sherry. Anyway, they are not making the repeating the mistakes to put people in environments that is less than. But I suppose that Simi and Comsi is two different things, because if you know the value of a house, if you know the value, and I'm not talking monetary value, I'm talking about the importance of a structure. The American society speak of the American dream, White House and picket fence. It's a cultural status that lifts the morale, community development, and strata living, not trailer trash living. So maybe that's the bougie in me to say I don't want that for not even the least among us in our society. So people can feel free to make that argument, but miss me with it. And while we're talking about it, it hasn't happened in the mass production of 3,000 to 5,000 for the persons who are displaced. Those persons, as we speak, are still homeless and are in shelters that they're being told to get out of. Not to mention the priority is to give them light even when them don't have nowhere to live and don't have no plug and use the light. Don't even have a meter when the light come back. Right? No, and I'm saying that we should move away after what we saw Hurricane Melissa did from even zinc roofs, and knowing that even hurricane straps may not be enough and our environment may call for concrete housing. As the Spice, I said it already, Spice idea is one where a starter home is to quickly create employment. The masons and the carpenters is to set up at a minimum 1 bedroom house with the bathroom and the kitchen. Build it as fast as possible. Decking, can't promise you say the inside I go paint the color where you want, but I'll get it up so it don't leak and so you can live in there and you take your time. The least you can do for yourself is to add on to the house when the time come. The least you can do for yourself is to paint the house the color where you want when the time come. But we just make sure that you're back in a space. And it costs the same. Why pay $2.5 million for a trailer and then still going to tell the people that when it's time come, when you qualify for NHT, you have to borrow money for build a concrete structure and come out of the trailer? And what is the life of the trailer? It's just a matter for people to understand where their priorities lie. But all I will say is, for the people of Jamaica, where the greatest commodity, the greatest asset to Jamaica is the people, the potential for greatness of the people. I am not accepting that for them, and I'm not changing that. I'm not changing that and my position on that. That's really that's where I am, and I'm not changing that. Simple. No, sharing my thoughts on human rights, my thoughts on International Human Rights Day, which, in case you didn't know, it's December 10th every year, and we, in observance on it and recognizing, if even for that day only, the importance of human dignity, the importance of the right to life. I'll tell you what my thoughts is on the right to life, because I did have an exchange. I'm not going to play it. It has become an appreciative experience to have the ability to interact with the Prime Minister through questions, and his responses, whether I agree with them or not, is one that you get a sense or a snapshot of the governance, the style, and even his vision for the country. For me, because life is so important to me, I can't think of circumstances to justify killings. And while criminals go around killing innocent people, that's just the thing. They are murderers and killers. Some of them are friend killers, and all kind of gang killers and whatever you want to call it. It becomes problematic when the Jamaica Constabulary Force becomes exterminators of the friend killers and the killers and the scammers who also kill, or whatever these people are, and have no respect for life. To have the people who are to uphold the law break the law by exterminating in what is known as extrajudicial killings or police killings is not something that I'm prepared to deal with. And to say that every life lost is potential deferred. And if I believe, and if people share with me that every single Jamaican has the potential, when they become the best versions of themselves, to do something great in life, then we should rethink how easy we exterminate and sanction extermination of our brothers and sisters. And if they're not your brothers and sisters, I understand that. Right. And then see, I'm gonna showing you Rowan the Great. You see, I wasn't even addressing that part, but we must never forget that one of the greatest feat of any human being anywhere in the world is to own a piece of the rock from whence you came. And so the idea of the brick and mortar is for the government to be very, very diligent in ensuring that persons get a part of the rock, and they have the power to allocate land ownership. And that's the thing about restoration. So after this damage, the cleansing that was Melissa, is to bring people into a better position, build back better, better than before. So that when you give somebody the trailer house and they put it down on the land, when the government is good and ready and technical issues arise, you lift up the trailer and show the people them off. Modern day chattel houses, when people vex, you're there, your girl yard, and she say, come off from my daddy land, and you say, hey girl, what? And you say, me I leave, and you gas up the truck and you take the jack and you jack up your trailer and you put it on the back of your van and you drive gone with it. Car feel one. And everybody all right with that, and you stay, and the police them say, where you go? You say, you get this way. So I move up, I go my mother yard, and everybody say, hey, team, they gone with everything. And then whatever. And then she say, pitch, patch, lich, notch, stitch, snatch, watch. Yeah, you get it. So anyway, so let us not lose sight that trailer houses can be moved. And the concrete houses will require them to title the land. It will require government to title the lands so people can be landowners. So the question is, are you bringing these trailer houses to save yourself the trouble of giving people land? And we know about land complications, but the reality of it is you want people to have land ownership. And one pride, the Operation Pride, you get a sense of pride when you own your house. My mother did always tell me that, say, when you own somewhere, it makes a difference. And when you own it, don't mortgage it and don't borrow money upon it. And that's just the reality. And so I shout out again to Rowan, the creator. Rowan, that's a true thought, and he's from Westmoreland, and so again, you see, the lived experience is important, because adverse possession, not even Hurricane Melissa can wipe out adverse possession. And for anybody who thinks them big and bright and can talk about there's no case law, there is case law. We don't live in a vacuum. Jamaica have to answer to the Privy Council currently. And if them diss and miss and snitch and patch, them have to answer to the CCJ where necessary. So we don't live in a vacuum and we don't live in a bubble. So for those, just like how I'm saying that adverse possession and the Privy Council with recreational holdings, say if you dep on the land 12 years and a private life, a private land are yours. And if you dep on government land for 60 years and you can use adverse possession collectively, I mean, your granny did dead, and then your mama come there and you dead, and you're up in an age. All of that generational transference allows you to beat out the government on the possession of that land. So you're protected. But it can't come tell you, say, Hurricane Melissa blow you down, so then can take back the land, and government can't tell you, oh, you don't have title to the land, so it's not your land. That is a lie. That's why the doctrine of separations of powers make sure, say, you can go to the court for protection when people start to chat foolishness. And if them out here and them chat foolishness and them don't want to recuse themselves, you just go up at the Privy Council and tell upon them, and you said, oh, my lords, in all your greatness, those down there are not listening to me. And they say, oh, is that so? And then pitch, patch, snitch, watch, pitch, patch, snitch, scratch. You get it. Anyway, so that's just a point to have consideration. But sharing with you that in all of this conversation, no matter how comical the conversation is the concept, the idea that this country is run by the human rights, the Constitution of the Don of all lands. We recognize the human element of anything in its planning, the inclusion, the ensuring that equity in distribution is a reality, equality before the law, equitable treatment by public officials. It's a breach. And there's somebody said, mine, Sean, 18. No. Let me tell you something. I'm endorsing pitch match, snitch match, let's match, kitch, scratch. Yeah, scratch. Yeah, if you like. Anyway, yeah, don't worry. My name ain't Chris. Everybody hates me still, but we move on, though. Just recognizing that on the thought of, and I'm just going to leave this with you. So this was a press release. Of course, we don't live in a society where human rights is so respected. So you won't
I'm
You
Isaac
won't
Buchanan, Member of Parliament and Shadow Spokesperson on Youth and Human Rights. Today, as Jamaica joins the global community in observing International Human Rights Day, we are reminded that dignity, safety, and fundamental freedoms of every Jamaican are not optional ideals. They are constitutional guarantees. This year's observance holds weight as we reflect on the lives lost and livelihoods disrupted by Hurricane Melissa, especially in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Hanover, St. James, Manchester, Trelawney, St. Anne, and our brothers and sisters in the East, Portland, St. Thomas, St. Mary, Kingston and St. Andrew, and all other affected parishes. My thoughts remain with every family who has suffered loss, displacement, or hardship because of this devastating Category 5 hurricane. Their pain speaks to an urgent truth. Natural disasters do not suspend human rights, and moments of crisis demand from the state its highest level of care, responsiveness, and accountability. As Shadow Spokesperson on Human Rights, I remind the government of its constitutional obligation under the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms to ensure that all Jamaicans, particularly the vulnerable, marginalized, and disaster affected, are treated with fairness, dignity, and equal protection under the law. This includes the right to adequate shelter, clean water, health care, food security, and timely access to relief and recovery support. Recovery cannot be selective, assistance cannot be delayed, and rebuilding cannot ignore the voices of the people most affected. I call on the government to accelerate and expand relief distribution with full transparency, prioritize the restoration of critical infrastructure in affected communities, provide clear timelines and accountability for rebuilding commitments, ensure that no community, family, or individual is left behind during recovery, uphold all constitutional duties owed to the people of Jamaica without discrimination or political bias. On this day, let us remember the right to life is of paramount importance, acknowledging that police killings cannot be the solution to building a Jamaica where resilience is supported, rights are protected, and every citizen matters. For every life lost is deferred potential. Let us ensure every son and daughter of Jamaica become the best versions of themselves. Blessings.
I'm bringing people back to the reality that you must appreciate from wherever you are, that the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms is what protects you from discrimination. You know, we come a long way, not as Jamaica, as a world, protection from racism, discrimination, hate, all of that. Freedom of expression has caused people to even come on platforms and just chat anything. And also because they don't have no regard. Some people, because they don't know their value, they have their unhappy lives and they come and they try to, have you descend into the arena to respond to them, and then when they respond, they say, "Oh, there it is." So I'm not going to use the word bad mind, but jealousy is a part of the 7 deadly sins humans suffer from, because one of the things that I realize that people lack is internal locus of control. No matter what the situation or environment is, you would find yourself, even when you help people, rescue them from their reprobate lives and from mistakes that they make. You're not God, you're not Jesus, but you restore them to human dignity, human living, especially when they have them in inhumane conditions, and they find themselves and their generations, if you want to call it, and their followers and their people to hate you for being righteous. And so people want to speak, so people want to speak negativity into your life. And you see, if you exercise fairness, and equity does not assist illegality. Equity, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. And no, nobody can say it's the principle to support or to sanction that which is illegal. And you have to something, or oftentimes watch for that, because you see, life has a way to expose the unrighteous, and so you have to live your life and ensure that you bring no harm to people. Is the e-transfer set up to receive funds as yet? I don't know how to answer that. I can tell you something though, Michael. The GoFundMe is set up to receive the donation. I'm hearing on my end, I advise to go out and come back in to see if it helps. Oh, that's the people who are not here. Yeah, so I'm putting that out there so for people to understand that the lives we're talking about is people's real life. And so you may be good where you are, but there are people who are not. And the Zelle works too. Yeah, and we just mustn't take that for granted. I'm really putting that out there for say that we must not take that for granted. There's a lot of people who don't have a problem with that, but I'm just saying to you that you should think about that. Someone said, can you tell us if Andrew start doing anything as yet? Like I said, I'm addressing it as it goes. Respect for the law. And especially you have to look where it comes from. When a non-black person gets up and say, a non-black meaning you're probably mixed. You have a little Indian and you're a high color Jamaican and whatever. And then you have the inclination now to disrespect people. You think a half-breed could get up and disrespect any Jew in the world wherever you come from? They wouldn't care if you was a lawyer or a king's counselor or a president or a prime minister. If you diss the Jews, them cut you down to size. You can look on the public and say, oh, there is no law, and the Maroons are not sovereign, and the Maroons can't tell government what to do and what's an error, and the Jamaica independent and have no regard for the treaty. Just because a court doesn't rule that, or hasn't had the opportunity at first instance to rule. This is why one wonders how people get where they get when they don't contribute to jurisprudence. If they have majority of the cases that I win, there was no precedent before. There was no actual precedent before. It was precedent setting in the Jamaican space. And when we talk about human rights, so you guys remember George Williams, when the government of Jamaica successively and the error from the court caused the man to spend 50 years of his life, lock him up when he's 20 and let him out when he's 70. Yeah, and he loses his entire life. And a judge of the Supreme Court says he used to get paid 120 million, little bit of money, because he should have get way more than that. And then this very government, as them win, they said, no, that nigga can't get that money. And we're going to sue and we're going to appeal until him dead, because we are a heartless government. And that's what they have done to George Williams. And you can stand in parliament and you can give directions and ensure that because he's old and he's a black man and he's a Rastafarian, that you can continue the hatred that you hate to see Rasta people. So I know when they don't like me, even when they smile with me. Worse, when you double it up, you're Rasta and you're maroon, and just put it in context. All know the government don't distribute none of the 3,000 container them for the regular Jamaicans who have lost houses, nor have they provide housing solutions as yet. But you find yourself in a compound where there's only 261 houses on the mountain top, and you want the military go build. And you want to go in somewhere, notwithstanding a treaty that by practice and by custom has been in use. Proof of it is a compound has a stamp and the forestry department has a stamp. And the lumber that comes from the trees of the cockpit country must be stamped by either the Maroons, Chief Curry and others, or the forestry department. That's treaty. Recognition of a sacred sanctuary, indigenous space. And so one cannot deny people of their cultural rights, their heritage, when the rest of the world is recognizing and sending money in support of that very heritage. That significant reality. That's why they don't take it lightly, and them sound they are banging at Portland, everybody shiver. Everybody body shiver, and them know that it was just a formality. But let me tell you something. I think it's high time that the court considers the importance of the indigenous contributions of the Maroons. We have a national hero, Nanny, that come from right here in Portland. And she was not here because she did Eagle. She was not here because she was a gal. She was here because of her contribution to the freedom of us black people who like to enslave black people. So people can just talk and think that everything is funny. And people can come on internet and dip on X and write up posts and talk about accountability, and we want to know how much money you get. So how can somebody write a question? How much money you collect on your GoFundMe when that's public knowledge? It's there on the GoFundMe. Could you be such an idiot and pose questions and questions people's private ability, capacity to raise funds versus public collections for private people, and you don't know the difference? One wonders, And government has a history of always doing the research with zero implementation. And so while people are assessing, there are people that remains homeless. And while people take the opportunity to politicize everything, life really and truly is living whether or not you want to contribute. And a screenshot and a snapshot and a video in time does not change the reality of the spaces that we are in. You can't fake poorness. You can't fake richness. You can't fake nothing. The reality is what people have to live with when the lights are gone. Probably why they want to turn on the light. Because they when you sit in your heavens, and if your heavens is hell, that's how it is. And again, yeah, I'm talking, but I have to speak up for the people, and I engage with every ministry. I talk to Auntie Babsy. I talk to Uncle Ed. I talk to Uncle Desmond. Family, Parliament is one big happy family. You can go on kill up fool yourself. and do so for the people who send me into Parliament to speak up for them. And all who wants them to chat too much. I that God give me my mouth for. I don't know what them God give you your mouth for. But is that somebody remind me that we must go in the commercial break.
That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
Yeah, so just to be clear, the whole idea is to invite people to be critical thinkers, and while you're being critical thinkers, to think for your brothers and sisters. Somebody says, "Sir, may I have $30,000, please? I'm coming by your office tomorrow." The solidarity program is going on. See if you can catch that. Sign up. A government money, and ISAT money. Let me make that clear. But anyway, the idea is to try to set people on the right path. When we look at the reality, if Melissa never happened, persons were still in situations where they were bordering the inhumane living. And so they needed help way before Melissa. And there are times in this country, sometimes in this parish, where it rains more than Melissa did rain, and structures get damaged and people are displaced, and anywhere in Jamaica where you are, where the housing conditions is not up to par. And so when we start to think and plan for the future of the country, it must do so recognizing that the people of Jamaica are a special class of people. Yeah. And in appreciating that it changes much or changes the landscape of what we're thinking about. So again, the Maslow's laws of hierarchy is where we're stuck at. And even before, let me tell you something, even before Melissa, believe me when I tell you this, even before Melissa, the physiological needs, which is the most fundamental survival need, air, food, water, warmth, rest, and shelter, is the ones that people can't transcend. So you can't, you find it difficult to provide food, clothes. Nikolai, big up yourself. Wheelchair boss, I see you. To transcend that. But then you have the safety needs, which is security and stability, including personal security, financial security, health, and protection from harm. So you're living in a high crime society where even as soon as you work and you make your money, people want to kill your feet. You have those who feel entitled and think that they can regulate and change the narrative and change the game as time goes by. It becomes problematic because the reality is silver and gold will vanish away, but a good education will never decay. But then wait, I have my education, I have 11 subjects, and I cannot get a job. I cannot get to go to tertiary education. But wait, I did get to tertiary education and I did graduate, but I'm still struggling to find my financial security, and it's taking a toll on my health. And then I cannot be protected from harm because I cannot move, regardless of raising my level education wise and everything. I cannot move out of the ghetto. I cannot move into a house where it's secure and I'm protected from harm, so that when a hurricane come, my trailer don't blow away off of the land them say me no own. And I don't have title to the land, so I don't have that personal security to gamble with my financial security by taking a loan on the title when I own the title. And if government decides to build a highway or a bypass and want to run through my land, them don't tell me I'm going to pay you for the house, but not for the land, because the land is not yours. And even though the land is not the government land, we're not going to pay it for you, because we're going to put it in trust for the person who own it when it run off on a banana boat in 1973 and live in England and dead long time with 7 generations that never been to Jamaica before. But then after that, it becomes the love and belonging, which is the social need. And so the need for interpersonal relationships, friendship, intimacy, family, and a sense of connection. Now, in the Jamaican space, the importance of connection. There was one of the things when we learn this is the people them who are connected, them not have a problem for being in the know. Because when we say the solidarity program and go on in East Portland, the people them show up, and those who are not friendly and staying connected, them here last. And then if them hear you say that, them say you disrespect them. But you want to make sure that you have a sense of connection and intimacy and family. Family is essential to even your health, your mental health. But when you think of the needs for interpersonal relationships and friendship, your friendships are just as important as the intimacy with your private relationship with your married, your husband, your wife. It's just as important. So all of the relationships, all of the ships must function in full throttle. So not boat that can get blow up in the waters, ships. Yeah, not like the Titanic, but you need to make sure that you're managing and you're participating in life, right? It's yes, the psychosocial is very, very important for your well-being. It's vital. Yeah, it's just like the body parts. But then after that is the esteem needs. So you see, the problem with Jamaicans is that we run into the self-esteem and the achievement, and we want the respect and the status and the recognition and the dignity, whether we work for it or not. But you see, the Constitution, it allows us human dignity. So nobody not supposed to be disrespecting you and make you feel any less. The status, the respect, the achievement, and the recognition, it must be something work for, and it must be something deserving of. And I just think that people are so caught up in the esteem needs. They come and they be disrespectful. What can you gain for showing up and disrespecting the people who are to serve you? What do you expect to gain from that? And what one does. And when you disrespect people, you deprive yourself of the basic needs. If it's liquor food, if it's liquor clothes, if it's liquor shelter, if it is a financial assistance, or because of your self-esteem, because of your ego, your idiosyncrasies coming in, right? But most people never ever reach the highest form, which is self-actualization. It involves personal growth, fulfilling one's potential, and seeking peak experiences, creativity, and morality. So the Jesus was self-actualized, but they string him up on a cross. Maybe Socrates. I think Barack Obama is self-actualized. I think Nelson Mandela is self-actualized. I think Michael Manley is self-actualized. I think PJ Patterson is self-actualized. Mia Motley clearly is self-actualized. Notwithstanding that Ralph Gonzalez lost, he's self-actualized. Work in progress for many others, including myself. The hierarchy though, prepotency. So the lower level needs like hunger are more powerful and must be addressed before higher level needs become motivational. Yes? Progression. Once a need is largely satisfied, it ceases to be a primary motivator and the next level emerges. So if your focus every day when you get up is to go get your liquor food and Lord God from Monday morning the 1st till Friday the 31st or 30th or 28th, depending on the month, you have to struggle for find the rent. You have not passed that bar, and your motivation for living is to transcend those needs. Once you balance it and you're able to juggle that, you enter the next need. So life is a balance, and if you're not able to do that, you're gonna be in problems. What's not absolute is, while this is generally followed, the hierarchy isn't rigid, and people can sometimes pursue higher needs even if lower ones aren't fully met. Most people are the ones that's what they do in life. So we don't live nowhere. But we gonna get to education, and then when we get with education, we're still live. Are you leaving? No, tonight. Where's the thing for me to sign?
When you finish that.
Okay. Yeah. And we have all of those things. So them ask me where me I go, and them not tell nobody for send me no lion and no universe on TikTok. And that me I tell you, you know that's why me I tell you, when you deal with black people, nothing no change, When you don't make me go in a studio, snitch, snatch, screech, scratch, reach, march. Anyway, so people, yeah, that was for a particular person. Shank, crook, books, look, yeah, they for people to kind of appreciate where they are in life and where they're going. And so, although we're striking the balance, we must know our purpose. We must know what is the objective. We have people, you get the education, but what you do with it to transcend these needs is what is going to be important. And while we're here and we know that children must be in school. When I started my tablet drive, it was for instances like this where when the children have the tablet, the schools have the tablet, the teachers can remotely teach them. And that's not something that we somebody say you are on a Crockett rocket. Crockett rocket, lick out your socket. Yeah. Anyway, they have an appreciation for that. Birthday I come, Apple, watch, miss, match, tick, tock. Anyway, all right, yeah. That one is exhausted now. So that is how big up. Out them out. Respect. So we have a clear understanding of how that is. But let me stop because I noticed say me I do all of this talking, and we're not going like say through a Christmas time, the money now run. So we're not fight against the progress, See me have to tell anybody thanks the day. stylings. But I actually met I met a lady on Tuesday from South Carolina. She watches Context Matters, and she come to Jamaica and she says, "I'm in Jamaica. You must meet me." And I went and I met her. Her name is Joan, like my mom, and she has a son who is a lawyer. And yeah, it's nice when you can touch lives and they touch you as well. And she gave her donation, and she also gave me my birthday present. And it was just very, very heartfelt. Yeah, very, very, very heartfelt, because there are people who think of you while other people thinking ill of you. You know them ways, eh? Me not like no fire. Cause me no want nobody call the fire truck. Somebody said, "What did she give you?" "Just give me my money." Yeah. So that is it. So I look forward tomorrow on my many Apple products. Lexi, Vanessa, Verona, yeah, Zambo, yeah, Charmaine Roden. Anyway, just putting that out there. No, it was somebody. Vanessa asked if it was Apple products. No, it wasn't Apple products. But yeah, so just putting that out there to say that these things are important. So again, where do we find the balance when persons need food and persons need shelter? Which need is more important? Do you need to feed your hunger, or do you need to have somewhere to sleep? Is your belly more important to full than the belly than living somewhere? And Ish Tonio, you tell me say my chest too high. I tell you something, you try to pick up the barrel them before the people of Portland go like say, me nah not forgive them for Christmas. Don't ramp with me in a solidarity program soon done and something else I for go run. So you know how it go. And one person alone donates so far, you know. So 6 more people have to donate before 7 o'clock. On the door ramp with me. All of a sudden, when you stop bill back, and all of a sudden decide say it's not important. It's not important to make sure that people are all right. You know what I'm saying? But some major things are going to be happening. Major things. So that is important. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so it is. Just give me my money. Yes, as a general rule, tell Marva, I don't know why Ishmael is picking on me. Because he must think that it's a part of Draw TV when him and Perry I make fun of people. I talk about the 80s judgment day and not a judgment come. I said them love pick on people. Somebody said, "What is your opinion on the UN High Seas Treaty?" I don't have an opinion, because a low seas, we live right outside of the Caribbean, and if you go too far, them blow you up. I have no opinion whatsoever. Yeah. So, I want to say that as we continue to do what we're doing, and it is the moral charity. I want to say it's the moral charity, because I have to speak on these things, Yeah, Moral Jamaica, they donated 25 mattresses or sponges and the pillars to accompany those things for sleeping purposes. And so while many people were not thinking of Portland, the moral Jamaica, a real help in terms of what they did for us. Or am I saying that right? No, Moral Jamaica gave us the Starlink and the donation. Let me tell you who gave us the mattress. So going when private sector have to be ensuring that you get stuff. Just give me my money. Let me get it right. Hold up. Wait. Let me make the call, y'all. I don't want to get it wrong. Lift up your head, eyes out, and hold it high. Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know nothing will survive. Yeah. So I'm saying, because I had a very long day today as well. Very interesting when I think about it. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, man, I giving out inaccurate information right here, so I need to call while I'm live to correct it. What's the name of the charity? We Are Tomorrow. All right, thank you. Yeah, man, take care. Right, so it's We Are Tomorrow, and We Are Tomorrow provided the 25 sponges, the mattresses, and the pillows to go with it, and many more things to come in terms of what we're doing here in Portland. Also expecting some major infrastructural development or restoration to take place in the coming weeks. So there's a lot of meetings to ensure that delivering for the people of Portland is on my top priority. And I already know. Remember, we are a developing country. Some people would call it third world, and so the people have to fend for themselves. The diaspora key in the survival of this country. So where it is that they donate and where it is people continue to help. I mean, when you look at the GoFundMe, the donation was major. It stopped and it filled a major gap in terms of providing for the people of Portland, which is my primary goal right now. Very key. Right, so Chef Taj Cook, big up yourself. The We Are Tomorrow Foundation and Chef Taja Cook is Taja, I call him, but it's important to note that there are people who have Jamaican roots who, I'm telling you, they come back and they do everything for Jamaica and they feel it for Jamaica. He is a chef. Help a lot of people in the United States, World Central Kitchen affiliate, and he's out here doing his thing while he's thinking about Westmoreland and just the West in general. He made sure that he included Portland. And I must tell you this, you see that Rasta power is a real thing. Don't take it lightly. People can laugh about it and say all kind of stuff, but it's when you know yourself and you don't suffer from identity issues, your compassion is that much greater. So I pause to say respect to all the people who contributed and respect to all the people who care about Jamaicans when it's evident that the people who are supposed to care really don't care. And that is a real, I say that genuinely, in terms of what expectations are versus the reality. But certainly, continuing more than anything to just continue to believe in what it is I'm doing. So Miss RC King, big up yourself. Anonymous as well, big up yourself for the donations. I'm expecting 5 more people to donate before the show close out. That's how we do it. So much. May God continue to bless you as well, bless your heart. Yeah, I must have just conversation sidebar to explain. You know, there was an observation made in terms of the documentary that 50 Cent did, and the way 50 Cent was painted. It's a very, 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 the way he painted Puff Daddy. Watching it and looking from a legal standpoint, how circumstantially so many things can look bad and might not necessarily be true, and learning not to rely on just social media, learning to always have all the facts, and even when things are said, not to take it at face value, or not to use it in the way people use it when they try to control narratives, right? So that would be important. Mr. Buchanan, is there any truth to the report that the Prime Minister's asked World Central Kitchen to leave? Yeah, there is the world. I'm not gonna say it's the Prime Minister who asked him to leave, but the World Central Kitchen has been told that they would have to leave the what they call it, the trade center in Montego Bay, because they would have to leave the conference center. Mean that they would suspend or end the operation of providing food. But as I said, Jamaican people, interesting set of people, because if you hear they say chicken again, this again, them can't cook little lobster. Me not like all this taste and stuff like that. And I mean, it is they you can't even say it's a thought that count, but I know that these are professional people. Cooking for mass people become very monotonous, and maybe the herbs and spices go down or whatever. But even then, a source of food, providing food, if it is a necessity, you'll be grateful for it. And even then, I tell you, say nothing beat little cornflakes and little soya milk or almond milk or oat milk, because me don't know, them say the whole of the cow them dead in Westmoreland, so you have to go with the little cow milk. And it I don't know if I can, like, I'm such a finicky eater. All of me are dead with hungry. Me not eat from myself because me can't cook. So you can imagine when me I eat food where it tastes like a me cookie. Me just gone on a tangent. And I don't buy or subscribe into beggars cannot be choosers. The government need to spend the money with them raise, like how the little pittance of me raise, me spend on the people. You're not supposed to save the money for yourself and decide how you're gonna allocate it. Spend the same time. Many people them say yeah, do something, and it's not improper planning, because you plan with your money, the government's money, but you can't be telling the whole world to donate to you, and then all the charity that came from donations through their platform, the money hasn't been used yet. Right? Somebody said, me for try goat milk. Me not name goat, but let's try goat milk. Me not eat beef, so me not name cow milk. Me not drink cow milk. You understand what I say? Yeah, so I'm not casting any aspersions on the government. The government has the ability to lend $150 million US to JPS. Them have capacity for spend how them spend. and there's enough things them do. So me not bad thought nobody, and this is not the time for it. And I'm not being political. What I will talk about is the things that I don't. No, I don't drink cow's milk. I drink oat milk with vanilla. I drink almond milk, silk almond milk. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Can you add Jamaican patois signs in Portland to help the language become standardized? So Anonymous, we don't have no problem in a Portland. You understand? And if you dip up under me the wrong way, I'll be a patois you're gonna get. So we don't need no patois sign in a Portland. They might need it in St. Andrew, Upper St. Andrew, over there in Kingston, where they have Subway and Krispy Kreme and Burger King all in one space, and KFC behind, and the Christmas lights, blue and white and stuff, but not right to say in a Portland, yeah, man. Up in the valley, we around the reach, no sir. Yeah. Somebody said, which make me leave you. Yeah, you know something? Yeah. So we think about those things in real time and respond accordingly. Somebody said once with exam. Yeah. Right. So that's just basically the reality when we come to think of it in a nutshell. In a nutshell. John, what is this now? I don't know. Yeah. What walking in divine? Why you not behaving yourself? What is happening there now? Who's troubling who? Who is troubling who? Somebody said, what's the plan for tomorrow? Tomorrow my birthday, so yeah. In living color, you can do what you wanna do. In living color. Yeah, we're not short or chatting patois. So I just saying in preparation for what is to come, and having a plan and a vision for what is to happen in the future for Jamaica, there is high expectation from the people of Jamaica to, no matter what the situation is, to respect themselves. Again, when I speak of internal locus of control, it must come from within you to want better for yourself. There are many things that's happening in the space, and you must demand inclusion. So there, even in spaces where people aren't excluding you, you exclude yourself because of your learned behavior and the height of negativity. And I must say that one of the things in terms of people being compassionate and people having an understanding of the realities is to not add to people's reality, people's condition at this time, but to do more to ensure that people are okay. So people must increase and increase your ability to de-stress and not add to your stress. Yeah. So that is the highest I can put it. Yes. So if you're allergic to almond, drink oat milk. And the cereal of choice also matters. That's why I love you on very good program. Keep true. All right. Blessings to those who enjoy the program. That's what I am here for. Yeah, I had a conversation about that, you see, because the Falmouth port is destroyed and the Montego Bay port is destroyed, Portland has often been neglected. So I'm sure that the whole plan to ensure that the Eastern Harbor is extended and Folly over by Folly is upgraded that may be suspended for a time. And that's really what happens, is that it's difficult to reach your full potential when people has geographically their favorite locations rather than maximizing everything. I know that is significant for me in terms of understanding the true potential of the spaces in Jamaica. And I think that's something that we have to do. Somebody say must stop eat KFC, period, unhealthy. Well, I'm sure the people in the West right now would have take KFC every day if they could have get it. Um, and I mean, we have conversations about that, but people will tell you stop eat KFC, it's unhealthy, and then them smoke weed morning, noon, and night, and 2 pack of cigarette. And then those who say you shouldn't smoke, I shouldn't smoke weed and do as you know them do, them drink alcohol till them liver nana use. And people have all kind of things that's adverse to their health, and then but they subscribe and criticize people. It's one life you have. You must enjoy it, but you mustn't abuse it. That's really what it is. Um, and I can't take it any higher than that, but because I listen and I don't judge. I might make up my face, but made it ugly from morning, so I just saw that it go. And you know, I didn't tell you this, but tomorrow also I'll be 8 years at the Jamaican bar. So I was called to the bar on my birthday, and tomorrow will be my 8th year at the bar. Might as well talk about it now, but my achievement in the legal arena has been extraordinary. I'm not tooting my own horn, but the more that I look at where the jurisprudence is now from where it was when I just became a lawyer is phenomenal. And for those who just think that people just get up and talk and stuff like that, I'm well trained from out of the University of the West Indies. The likes of Professor Codellini, Dr. Leighton Jackson, Tracy Robinson, Dr. Janelle Matthews, Dr. Celia Blake. Um, all of my lecturers were brilliant human beings that contributes to Caribbean jurisprudence and Commonwealth advancement. Um, it is just interesting, and still learning from Miss White has in terms of remedies has done something. You're lucky me to call your name, Verona. You're lucky me to even call your name. Sure. Anyway, yeah, and I'm just saying how interesting that is, and that's why when having the conversation, the genuine conversation about the rehabilitation bill is what education has done in my life and what legal education has done for me to transcend the nonsensical, idiotic, egocentric, egotistical animal farm behavior from persons who have no knowledge of the law, and how knowledge of the law has empowered me and to stand under the Constitution. Mr. Isaac can get 2 gifts in one because my more than 2. Remember Christmas I come, still want my yama after me. I don't really talk about Christmas till my birthday passing, because I know nobody thinks that they can go buy me no English leather aftershave and cologne, even though I all know and probably I don't smell like grandpa, but you know what I say. But just the reality. So yeah, 8th year at the bar, 47th year on earth is an amazing thing. And I was looking at some photos, and I had posted when I finished, one of the places that I usually studied was at the marina, the Errol Flynn Marina. They have a park over there. And I used to drive to Portland and study there. And I found myself at the end of my legal career in preparation for my application to be called to the bar because of my conviction circumstances. I was just sitting at the pier 2017 and the photo came up and it was taken on September 3rd, 2017. And on election day 2025, September 3rd, I'm the MP of the very parish that I used to get my solace. And was instrumental in me getting all them A's in law school. I am telling you, what God always has God has a plan and it's extraordinary. So you have to sit and wait for what the greatness will look like in your life. So notwithstanding, 1978. Yep. So man a chicken, Man a young fowl. Old cock. Yeah. It's that important for people to just understand. So people laughing how to just navigate the space, and then having extraordinary parents. Never ever forget that. And grandparents also. That you have to look back. So it also substantiates or reinforces the importance of having a family background that can shape you even when you're faltering. Because I'm telling you, my father and mother extraordinary. Ibu says you was 5 in 1978. Wow. Yeah, circle. But for those who are 40 and over, them know it is a new beginning. 40 is the new 20. Lies. Because I was checking still, but the knees holding up, you know what I'm saying? Cut back on the KFC, you know what I'm saying? So I can fit in my clothes, because then my mock me say my hand them I swell up in my suit them and whatever. Bad mind, them are bad, they're too bad mind. Yeah, well, look, you can think I look like me, like call me looking a suit. But anyway, that's just really what it is. So just looking at both, and notice I'm not in Adidas because I'm coming from work. I'm working. And so the extraordinary gift of being called to the bar on my birthday, you can imagine what that birthday had felt like in 2017. But no, tomorrow, as I wake up, I will say, God, look how blessed I am, because you made me achieve so much in such a short time. Whether, even though you have young people saying, "Oh, you're so old," but in such a short time, with my new lease on life, and celebrating my first birthday as a member of parliament, an accomplished attorney, if I do say so myself. And on top of that, I'm thinking out loud on all of these things, and to all the people who I'd have influenced or impacted in a way that I can say, all credit to God, and say God on time. I saw in the Puff Daddy's interview, he kept saying that God is the greatest, and I say, one of the things you can do is play with God, because God in His time will definitely respond accordingly. But as I wrap up the show, I must say we are in December, and this Context Matters was formed out of what was a political attack on me because of something taken out of context. And this week has also been an interesting one in terms of an attack, but because of great minds and just again looking at the law and looking what options are, it's easy to say, you know, you leave things in God's time. But the irony to interface with just a certain exchange between attorneys in relation to clients who don't want to pay legal fees and would want to say that I am responsible for the non-payment of legal fees from people who, if it weren't for you, they wouldn't be free, and they refuse to pay legal fees, is an amazing thing. So that when a white man is badding up a black man, is always reminiscent of how people feel about how slavery is and why our culture is the way it is. But I always say God and time. But the audacity, you know, and then it changes the tone, because you see me, my gift from God, I no longer just use it lightly, and I don't throw my pearls among swines. I promise you that. Nor do I allow I don't allow people to size up. So recognizing that as a strong black man who has accomplished a lot, and going into my 47th year on earth, or is it my 48th year since I'm officially 47? So somebody do the math. Where is Damien? I'm asserting my presence, and recognizing that I'm not here to be friends with clients that I free, who should be lucky that I free them. I'm not doing that. Nor will I ever be subjected to suffer for using my intelligence to free people from the realms of criminality, whoever you are. But one should respect people and honor yourself. But there can be no honor among thieves and murderers. That's just the reality. But you see, I personally reflect on that and say, I'm leaving what big gift. I'm leaving those things to big up yourself. Sexy Lexi, we should go to London. That's what you should have done. You should have taken me to London for my birthday. Lexi. Yeah. But I just leave it at that, because God will always work things out. And I'm telling you, is that to Lexi, you must update me tomorrow on that interesting event again from ungrateful people. But to say that the irony always is that God has an amazing way to ferret out stumbling blocks in your life. And so so big up. It's a blessing from God to just be enjoying my life as it right now, and representing the people of Portland that chose me, all when them want to cost me. And again, to now say, you know, my office is for everybody. And thanking the diaspora today before I sign off for even contributing and always giving me the opportunity to help people, because as a human rights attorney, a philanthropist, humanitarian, what greater good could it be than to be able to help people and assist without explanation, without robbing them of their human dignity and stripping them of their humanity. That is the gift from God, and continue to do as much as I can do in God's time. And for those who have ill will and a great desire, or whether it stems from jealousy, insecurity, dishonesty, to want to, you know, use words, because that's all that can happen, to try to drag you. Fix your life. Use your internal locus of control to fix your life. Jamaica is for everybody, and if I can come to Jamaica and become the greatest version of myself after my stumble and my fall. Imagine what you can do. And I'm just sharing that in contemplation of how God has been good to me in my life, and wish that for many other Jamaicans. So you might be out there right now and you're in despair. Somebody say me not cuss you, although me not get the low income paper for get the little money, but that's okay. One baby. Diamond, me don't know what did happen because they all right now me look out there, there's still a sign up people. But like I say, we just look forward to continued upliftment, and I wish for Jamaica and the people thereof the best, so that people understand that there's so much more out there in the world and so much that you can achieve if you put your mind to it. And we must use experiences to build upon it and be better. If you dwell in the past, you're gonna wallow in the filth that of the past, rather than transcending to greatness. And I'm gonna leave it right there and take the opportunity again to say thank you to all the donors, and big up yourself. Little friggin' fly mosquito. Think that's a dengue go? Yeah. So blessings to Miss C, Del Rose, Anonymous. Yeah. That's how we do. That's just how we roll. How we roll. You know what it is. Like that. All right, so if you're tuned into Reggae Global, see you guys next week. For those of you who are on TikTok, top of the screen, share the live. Holler with me if you're feeling the vibe, and all my people on YouTube, walking in divine purpose, big up yourself as well. We are here and we keep it rocking. You locked in and tuned into Reggae Global Radio. All right. Bing, 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 boom, 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 boom.
It took some time to understand, yeah, just what it takes to be a man. Now it seems each day you learn something to make a better way. Growing up ain't just a phase, it's reality. And sometimes it's hard to face the world with your head screwed on. But in time you will see, it comes naturally, like the hurt and the pain. It's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. You know I heard them say, life much better you live it your own way. But if you need a helping hand, just call on me, I will be your friend. And when it gets hard to face the world with your head screwed on, just tell yourself you can. And that's when you'll understand that the hurt and the pain, it's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. You gotta keep on moving on. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. Just keep your head up, yeah. Just keep your head up, yeah. Gotta keep your head up, yeah. 'Cause everything